Welcome back. Next, we're going to talk about functions. Functions are, well, functions. You've seen functions. There are functions right here on my screen. Amazing. I have 4 functions right here. Well, I have 4 of the same function. Print. Print right here is a function. It's a chunk of code that does a specific task. Let me just switch over to Safari. Here you go. Here's the developer documentation for print. It's on the Apple developer website. And it says right there, somewhere near the top of the screen, function, right? So print, open bracket, something about separator and terminator, and writes the textual representations of the given items into the standard output. Who knows what that means? But it's a function, right? So we've been using functions right here. Let's learn how to make functions. Functions have names, and the name of the print function is, unsurprisingly, print. And they might take in arguments that represent the data given to the function. So let's go create a new playground page and we can talk more about this. So Command Control S, that's right. Command Shift N, functions, and tap on it. Okay, let's go make a function or two. Let's go back to our idea of introducing ourselves. So I'm going to say func print introduction, open bracket, close bracket, and open curly brace. So here you go. You've written your very first function. It does absolutely nothing. But notice the presence of curly braces. If you saw our SwiftUI video, you'll know that curly braces means that everything inside here belongs to this, crocodile thing that encases the many lines of code. So I'm going to type my introduction. I'm going to say, hello, I am YJ, and my hobby is making Swift videos, and I don't think I need to tell people my height in an introduction. Who does that? That's strange. Okay, so if I run this code, notice that there are 3 lines of print inside here. If I run this code, I will get absolutely nothing in my console, which is very sad. Let me just prove this by opening up the console. There's nothing. And that's because you've defined the function. It's a bit like declaring a variable without actually using it. It's a bit like writing down a grocery list and forgetting to bring it outside. Okay, so you actually need to use this function. You need to call this function. So I'm going to say print introduction. And autocomplete is very handy. Just type the exact same thing, print introduction, open bracket, close bracket. If I run my code, there you go. It says, hello, I'm YJ. My hobby is making Swift videos. Bye. Okay, so that's great. You've written your very own function. Let's make our function a little bit more useful. Let's make it something that can actually introduce different peoples other than YJ, right? YJ doesn't need to be introduced because I know him. Yeah. So let's make a new function called func print introduction with name :string. You might find this syntax a little bit familiar. Name : string is kind of similar to how we declared variables with type annotation, right? So in this case, it's saying that print introduction with name takes in an argument called name, and it's of type string. Note that this argument is a constant. You cannot change it inside the function. So let's try using it. So print, hello, I am, and now it's not YJ anymore, / bracket name. Okay, print, my hobby is making Swift videos. Oh, that's a bit weird. Not everyone's hobby is making Swift videos, although it should be. Print by. Okay, let's call this function, right? So I'm going to make a call to the print function without anything, and that'll give me a blank line between the previous print introduction and this. And now I'm going to say print introduction with name. Notice how it's part of the autocomplete. If I press enter, here's something interesting. Notice this highlighted text over here. This means that I'm supposed to type in an actual name, right? So whose name could I use? Oh, ZK, that's right. So let's run this. There you go, right? Hello, I am ZK. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to pronounce anything like an American. Hello, I am ZK. My hobby is making Swift videos. Bye. Okay, and of course I can give it any name I want. All right, let's move on. So that was kind of weird. Right, ZK's hobby might not be making ZK's hobby might not be making Swift videos. So let's write another function to be a little bit more generic. Let's do func print introduction with name and hobby. This function name is a little bit unwieldy, but we'll fix that in a moment. Name : string, hobby : string. So this function now takes in two arguments. The first argument is the name and the second argument is the hobby. So if you want, you can pause this video and try figuring out how to put in the name and how to put in the hobby into the sentences. Or you can just watch me type it out, which is what I'm going to do now. Print, hello, I am name. Oops. Print, my hobby is hobby, right? And print by. Okay. I also realized there's a typo. It's not print introduction. So let me go fix that real quick. And this is an argument for not making your function names too long because this thing is way too long. Let's run this thing to make sure that it works. Again, print and then print introduction with name and hobby. Okay. So notice that there is a blue color highlighted string. So let's type in the name. So banana. I've run out of interesting names. I'm sorry. And hobby. I can reach it by either tapping on it or pressing tab. Okay, so what is a banana's hobby? Being yellow. Run this, and there you go. Hello, I'm banana. My hobby is being yellow. Bye. All right, it's a pretty rude series of people, but that's fine.